In the heart of Amsterdam, a real estate tycoon built an empire worth hundreds of millions of euros. But behind the scenes, a dark world of crime, violence, and murder was hidden. This is the horrifying story of Willem Endstra, a businessman who rose to incredible wealth and power through his vast property dealings. But his success was tainted by shocking connections to the criminal underworld. From his humble beginnings working in his family's business, Endstra climbed to the top of the real estate world, becoming one of the most significant private investors in the Netherlands. But his meteoric rise was fueled by more than just savvy business deals. As Endstra's empire grew, so did his ties to some of the most notorious figures in the Amsterdam underworld, including the popular Heineken kidnapper Willem Holleeder. Their relationship would lead Endstra down a dark path, one filled with extortion, violence, and even allegations of murder. Join us as we reveal the horrifying secrets that lay behind Endstra's real estate empire, delving into a world where wealth, power, and crime intersect in the most terrifying ways. Willem Alexander Arnold Peter Minne Endstra was born on January 12, 1953. He was the second son of the 4 children of Arnold Willem Endstra and Margot Klein, who were from Germany. His grandfather, Minne Endstra, started out as a trader selling glass and paint items. He became wealthy by providing camouflage paint to the German army for bunkers and airfields. He used the money he earned to invest in real estate, which he often bought at auctions. At that time, banks were offering homes for Jewish Dutch people because the people who were deported hadn't paid their mortgages. After the war, he started renting out tank wagons and later became a wholesaler of rolling stock. He mostly traded with the Eastern Bloc countries. Willem Endstra began working in the family business when he was 16 years old. He grew the business into a real estate company, while in the evenings he studied law at the Vrije Universiteit. On May 13, 1987, he started a real estate company called Convoy Vastgoed BV. It was officially registered on June 3, 1987. Endstra worked hard and was a very smart businessman, but he also enjoyed taking risks. In the 1980s, Endstra got involved with the criminal world. He met Willem Holleeder and Cor van Hout, the Heineken kidnappers, at a place near Leidseplein. They were celebrating their release in a big way at the Marriott Hotel, where singers like Ben Kramer and Dries Rolvink performed for the Amsterdam underworld. They had a casual meeting at first, but later they got to know each other better. Holleeder showed some remorse for the Heineken kidnapping, and Endstra believed him. He suggested that Holleeder should repay Freddie Heineken 2 million guilders of the ransom. Endstra was even willing to lend Holleeder a few million if needed. However, Holleeder claimed that Heineken didn't want to accept the money. Endstra and Holleeder became friends over time. They worked out together at the gym every day for about 3 years. Holleeder often put on a show where Yugoslavian bodyguards would walk around the gym and signal that everything was safe. Endstra was impressed by this display, and Holleeder's actions resonated with him, gradually gaining his trust. Endstra had another experience where Holleeder impressed him. While Endstra was driving, he noticed a few men in a Volvo station wagon following him, wearing helmets. Endstra felt scared and drove very fast, up to 280 kilometers per hour, to lose them, but they kept up. Eventually, Endstra turned, and the Volvo drove straight ahead. In a panic, Endstra called Holleeder, who arrived with a group of heavily armed Yugoslavs with guns ready. Holleeder believed that Endstra was being chased by either police or criminals who wanted to kidnap him. Endstra was both impressed and afraid of Holleeder and his associates. Despite his association with Holleeder, Endstra maintained his reputation as a genuine real estate dealer and became one of the most significant private real estate investors in the country during the 1990s. This was due to his strong connections with bankers and, less known, the cash flow from his criminal clients. He was able to invest millions of dollars in real estate, despite the growing scrutiny of money laundering. In 1992, Endstra was accused of laundering money through property deals linked to a gang led by criminal Ton van Dalen, who had made profits from extensive trading in XTC. By 1995, he was implicated again, this time in relation to significant hashish transactions. Some newspapers reported that in the same year, he paid over 1 million guilders, approximately 450,000 euros, to avoid being prosecuted criminally by the authorities. Meanwhile, Endstra secretly continued to expand his real estate business. In 2001, he, along with Rotterdam port magnate Hans van der Lande, participated in the acquisition of the former British military airfield RAF Larbruch situated just across the Dutch border between Nijmegen and Venlo, now known as Airport Wies. Later on, a businessman from Ubergen and Erik de Vlieger also became involved. However, by the end of 2001, Endstra had to withdraw from the project due to German authorities discovering that the Dutch justice system was targeting him. Subsequently, it was revealed that Endstra had invested 6 million euros in the airport, which was later renamed Airport Wies. Endstra was acquainted with de Vlieger from previous ventures, along with real estate dealer Klaas Hummel. The three of them jointly purchased the World Fashion Center in Amsterdam in 1999. In the year 2000, Endstra was a co-shareholder of Dutch Contracting Group, a port company in Amsterdam, and Fiji, a crane manufacturing company in Haarlem owned by de Vlieger. However, in 2001, de Vlieger ended his collaboration with Endstra. De Vlieger has always denied any connection with Endstra. Endstra was believed to have introduced de Vlieger to Willem Holleeder after de Vlieger had a disagreement with Israeli real estate traders. In 2002, Endstra gained public attention when criminal John Mieremet claimed in De Telegraaf that Endstra was the banker of the underworld, with Willem Holleeder as his enforcer. At that time, Mieremet was in conflict with both of them. Endstra refuted the allegation, but the situation seemed against him when a photo surfaced in the December issue of Quote magazine, showing him with Holleeder seated on a bench near his office. Endstra was known for keeping a low profile. He was often referred to by the nickname Silent Willem. Endstra feared being recognized in the photo and requested the judge prevent the publication of the quote issue. However, this request was denied. During that year, his wealth was valued at 350 million euros. He ranked 36th in the top 500 of Quote magazine. However, a year later, his fortune was estimated at 200 million euros, causing him to drop to 93rd place. Following the assassination of Cor van Hout on January 24, 2003, sources informed the Amsterdam police that Endstra was the next target. On May 15, 2004, Endstra made an appearance on the business class show hosted by fellow real estate trader Harry Menz. This was a big deal because, up until then, he had turned down almost every request for an interview. Endstra spoke out, saying that for 14 years he had been chased and investigated, but nothing incriminating had ever been found against him. He firmly believed that the investigators should acknowledge that he was innocent. Endstra claimed that he had no acquaintance with Willem Holleeder whatsoever. He brushed off the photo of them sitting together on a bench as mere chance. Moreover, Endstra alleged that the police had conducted illegal searches at his residence, with armed officers entering without proper authorization. The television broadcast of these statements took place on May 16th. The following day, at around 12:15 in the afternoon, Endstra was shot near his office on Apollo Line in Amsterdam Oud-Zuid as he was trying to enter his BMW. David Denneboom, the son of another real estate dealer, was also wounded in the incident. They were both quickly taken to a hospital, where Endstra passed away shortly afterward. He was 51 years old and left behind 5 children from 3 different relationships. The person suspected of carrying out the attack, Namik Abbasov, died of a brain hemorrhage while in custody in 2012. On March 21, 2006, the Amsterdam newspaper Het Parool revealed that Endstra had extensive discussions with the Criminal Intelligence Unit of the Amsterdam Amstelveen Police Department. The newspaper obtained a 254-page file containing detailed tape recordings known as the Endstra tapes. According to these recordings spanning from March 20, 2003 to January 28, 2004, Endstra allegedly implicated Holleeder in 25 murders, including those of his brother-in-law Cor van Hout, Sam Klepper, Jan Femmer, George Pleger, Magdi Barsoum, Jules G., and Guys van Dam Jr. He purportedly had prior knowledge of several planned murders and accused John Mieremet in 2002 of being involved in an impending one. Endstra also claimed that Holleeder extorted tens of millions of dollars from him. Despite detectives urging him to report the extortion, Endstra continuously declined because he feared that if Holleeder was jailed for a minor crime, he would seek revenge upon release. Endstra kept notes of his discussions with the detectives at the CIE, which disappeared from his home during a burglary in November 2003. He ceased contact with the CIE on January 28, 2004. Willem Holleeder, along with 13 other suspects, were apprehended on the night of January 29-30, 2006. The Public Prosecution Service accused him of extorting and assaulting real estate dealers. Willem Endstra's diaries, documenting the extortion and abuse, served as crucial evidence. Holleeder was sentenced to life in prison, a verdict upheld by the Amsterdam Court of Appeal on June 24, 2022. On June 8, 2015, De Telegraaf disclosed that the state received half of the estate, totaling 40 million euros. This amount significantly exceeded the estimate provided by Vrije Nederland journalist Harry Lenzink a year earlier. What are your thoughts on this story? Share your comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you!